Stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our prayer today, Heavenly Father, is for our guest, District Governor Tim Gibson, and all that he does for Rotary throughout the district and with his local Rotary as well. Blessings upon him as he journeys around the state, visiting all of the local Rotary clubs as he continues to visit and do the work that he does so well. We ask it in your name. Amen.
Amen. Welcome, everyone. How are we doing today? Wonderful. It's good to hear. Just a couple quick announcements and then we'll get going. We have the foundation receptions coming up. One will be Tuesday, November 1st at Fort Wayne from 4:30 to 6. There's one Wednesday, November 2nd at South Bend from 4:30 to 6. And there's one on Thursday, November 3rd at Lowell from 4:30 to 6 as well. Cornerstone will be having their coat drive on Saturday, October 8th from noon to 3 at Effinger Shelter across from Pizza King. The Rensselaer Care Center is having a trunk or treat on October 28th. If you or a business you know would like to sign up and have a trunk, please let me know. We would greatly appreciate it. World Polio Day is coming up. That is October 24th. We would like to do something for it. So if anybody has any ideas or suggestions, I would appreciate it. And now, very quickly, I'm going to turn the floor over to Mike.
It's good to see everybody here. It is a special day to have our district governor with us, District 6540, Tim Gibson. I have the pleasure of receiving text messages from him. It's always good at the camaraderie that you build and the friendships that you build. And we do have a brand new Huggy coming out for Rotary, and he knows which one I'm talking about. I'll share that picture. I cannot put it on the Rotary page, but I will share that picture with some folks. It's quite entertaining. But Tim Gibson, he's been a Rotarian since 1990. So he's been around for quite some time. He was a club president, of course. His bio is about as long as my arm here. There's a couple things that really kind of jumped out at me. Some of you will recognize this terminology. Obviously, he has served as an assistant governor, but Interact District Chair is quite notable position. Those of you that have been involved at the high school level and reaching out, the Jane K. Kissinger Award, or I'm sorry, Jack and Kay Kissinger Award, which is something that we've all supported over the years. One of the comments that he makes is that he struggles with technology every single day of his life. And I was like, yeah, I can relate to that as well. Some of the more important things, I think, he's been married to his wife Ann for 40 years, his son Peter, and a daughter named Katie. I believe are both adult children now. I've met both of them. And so that doesn't necessarily mean that they are always out of the house, but it does mean they are adults. So it's good to have Tim with us today. He's going to take a few minutes. He did share quite a bit with the executive board in the earlier meeting. I told him to go back and hit some of that. He does have some time. And, of course, you all know me very well. I tell our speakers they can speak as long as they want to. We leave at 1. So when we all get up and leave, you know that you're done. So I want Tim to come. Let's give him a good Rensselaer Club welcome, if you would, please.
I got a sheriff question. You'll probably know this, so you can recuse yourself from answering. There's 92 counties in the state of Indiana, but there's 93 sheriffs. How do you explain that? And I'll give you a little hint. 92 of those sheriffs are elected. This this 93rd one is not.
I had no idea.
Okay, the Indiana Constitution calls for one sheriff per county, and there is one sheriff specifically assigned to the Indiana Supreme Court. They carry out their instructions. So that's not, there you go. That's about how much I know about sheriffs in the county, but I just thought I'd share that. One of the things that, a couple themes, you know, we've got the NFL, we've got Major League Baseball, and we've got the NBA in this country. Why do you think the NFL has grown in popularity and salaries year after year after year compared to, especially Major League Baseball or the NBA? There's really one thing you can really put your finger on, and that is the Super Bowl, when it's played, the NFL Rules Committee is in attendance. That's the last game of the season. And once that game's over and everyone's filing out of the stadium, they're starting their meeting. And the first question they ask is, what can we do to make this game better in terms of changing the rules? And they don't leave until all the rule changes have been agreed upon. That happens every single year. That's called always be evolving. And everyone needs to have that mindset in everything that you do. Just keep asking yourself the question, what could we do to make this better? One of the things that, probably the best starting point for that is membership. And that is, the question would probably sound something like this. Anything that you plan, anything that you put together, you know, what is this going to do to increase the membership in this club? So everything should be operating off of that center point. I'll give you a little example. There was a town in Texas, and I read this in the Rotary magazine. I thought it was brilliant. 12 members, and they elected their president-elect, and he's a year out from taking office. And he's looking around, he's saying, I don't want to come into this club and run this club a year from now and still have only 12 members. What can we do? So this is what he did. He got everyone together, every member of the club was board, got a buy-in from everyone in that club to do this. We're going to have a Rotary installation dinner. It's going to become a community event. It's going to happen every year, and next year we're going to have the first one. But we have between now and next year, it's going to be right before July 1st when I take office, and we're going to have this community event, but it's going to be a Rotary installation dinner, banquet, whatever, however you want to name it. And we're going to have every member there with a significant other or spouse, plus one more. So that's a 3-unit times 12 members, there's 36 people. That's your core, that's your base. Then we're going to have the mayor, and the mayor's going to be there. That's why I asked you if you have a mayor in this town. You're going to ask that mayor, and the mayor's going to sing your praises. He's going to affirm your club. He's going to remind everybody what your club has done in all the years that have gone by. And he's going to also give everybody a sneak preview of what things you have planned in the years ahead. That's the hook. You're also going to have all your major business leaders there. The movers and the shakers. And a lot of corporations, the bigger they are, the more true this is, but there's a lot of corporations that have as a part of their human resources department, they have a charitable budget where they want their employees to go out and participate in organizations in the community so they can obviously show that they have a vested interest in the community apart from just hiring people to work at that business. So talk to those corporations, have that conversation, and that may be a good source for people when you're going to do service projects in the community. But what he did is we're going to have all the major business leaders there, we're going to have the city council there, we're going to have the mayor there, and then we're going to have a speaker. That's usually the tough part, but normally it isn't. If you have a local historian, people love history, especially if it's their own community. If you have a local historian, nail that person down to speak. Won't cost anything, I'm sure that person will be happy to speak. Just have the opportunity to get in front of a lot of people. You should be able to get 350 people there. So, pick out a venue that can accommodate that. Then so you've got the speaker, and then at the very end, you're going to get up there. If you're the incoming president like he was, raise your right hand, repeat back the oath, congratulations, and he's going to turn around and say, as your new club president here, if you like what you've seen here today and the energy we bring to this community, we have applications waiting for you on your way out. He got 19 applications and he got 17 new members. That was year one. Then that process was built on year two, off of year one. Then they had to find a new venue because they couldn't hold everything. Now you really stop and think about it. It really comes down to a community leadership banquet. Because you're going to have all those, you're going to get and try to get as many different pieces of your community there in attendance. But a lot of those people travel and share the same circles where someone else is found. So they're going to recognize and recognize and recognize, and then they're going to say, why are you here? Well, and then they're going to start putting all the connections together, the mosaic, of why all these people are in this room. And that creates a tremendous amount of energy. Just something to think about, and if you're going to have it catered, ask for in-kind donations. Go to the caterer and say, I've got 350 people coming. Most of them, I'm probably never use your catering service. How would you like to get in front of those people, put the best spread you can put together, and feed these people, and we're going to give you all the attention and kudos for this wonderful meal that evening. The other thing you could do is have a silent auction. So if you're trying to cover your expenses, have a silent auction on the table. That also is a link to the people in attendance. I had a client and he sold his plane, but he was a retired Delta captain, and he had his own private plane in Fort Wayne. And we had a single foundation dinner. We had one in Fort Wayne. It used to be an Elkhart at that Warner Theater. You might remember that. Okay. And so what he did is he offered a plane ride in his plane from Fort Wayne up to Marshall, Michigan, to that really nice restaurant. I forget the name of it. But and those are the kind of things. And people, bid on that, and we raised a lot of money that way. Instead of having raffles, I don't know about that, but maybe a silent auction. So that's an idea that I thought made a lot of sense. And I would say it can work in any club, but I think there's more applicability in the smaller clubs. But if you have a whole year to plan it, all right, you should be able to get the people there that you want there. But I would start with someone who, if you can find a local historian to speak, and maybe that person wrote a book, and then you'd like to be able to sell some of his books after the speech. I don't know. So, that's kind of his hook for being there. Okay, we'll talk about that. And the other thing is, when I was in Houston at the International Convention in June, Jennifer Jones said, she got all the district governors who were going to take office July 1, come to a special room. We had 650 people from all over the world there in that room. She got up there and shared some things. She had Brad Howard there and Ian Risley, who was the international president in 1718. I only remember that because that was the year I was club president. And they were going over some things. So she gets up at the very end, walks to the front of the stage, and she says, I'm going to give you 2 words. And I hope everything you've heard today, you'll remember some of this, but if you don't, I just want you to remember these 2 words. But before I give you the 2 words, I want to share something with you. I was a district governor. And some days, the phone calls can be trying, and the issues you're trying to work through, and there's usually going to be your top of your head's going to blow off. But she said, other days, it's wonderful, and you're so glad, and this is one of my days, coming to clubs like this, and seeing your faces and meeting you, and know this is where the work of Rotary gets done. But she said, what will happen to you is you'll turn around one day and the year's over. And then the next thing you do, you start second guessing yourself. And you say, God, I wish I had tried this, I wish I had tried that, you know, I wish I would have, you know, moved something in a different direction, and the direction was always gone, just to try something different. So she said, if you feel that and want to do that now, do it. So so her two final words were, be bold. And I just bring those two words to you because it's as easy applicable, it's more probably applicable at the club level than it is at the district level. But in that vein about being bold, I got together a group of people that I thought could come up with some ideas, and I was kicking around some ideas. We wanted to get away from the old format of a district conference. We were spending too much money out of our district coffers for too few people who attend. It was like a funnel. You had all this hopper at the top, and you're putting all these resources in, and there's very little coming out the bottom. And I said, this isn't working. We got to go a different direction. So we decided on a spring celebration event. So district conference, not going to be used. It's April 22nd. It's a Saturday. It's in Plymouth. It's centrally located. And I'm asking every club to participate by submitting a video or videos of your signature project, and the one I'm thinking is the same one you're thinking. That's your Empowering Girls initiative. But it doesn't have to be limited to that. You saw a two-minute video, that's 2 minutes. All right, that's, you know, that could have been done in a minute. I'm just saying, it still got the message across. I'm just saying, so everyone has a 2-minute bandwidth. And you can chop, slice, and dice that any way you want. You can have 2 1-minute videos, you can have 1 2-minute video, you can have 8 15-second videos. If you have that many projects you want to showcase. So you're going to show these. Chris is going to format them in order. We'll play them, and we're going to have 3 different categories. What the clubs submit, what the Interact kids submit. I'm really looking forward to that. And then the district, like Ryla, Youth Exchange, and the other. About that.
You want to see it again?
Huh?
Some of them haven't seen
Oh
it.
yeah, we'll see that again. Right, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the third are like world affairs.
A maintenance and a half person. So basically the work that you guys all did tonight, that 1.5 person takes all that stress off of them and allows them to do that. So we're talking dollars and cents. That I'm gonna guess was a good 2 to 3 weeks worth of work that you just saved us at a minimum, probably more than that. But yeah, that's a huge difference.
stand up.
If you remember Marshall. That was the guy in the wet shorts. I'm good.
That's a sample, but that's 2 minutes, just to give you kind of a time frame on how much information you can get done in a much shorter period of time. But Chris would be happy to help you format and put those together. We're going to have 4 invite slots available at each club. You submit a video, you get 4 or at least 1. You get 4 invite slots. Your club president, your president-elect, and any 2 others you'd like to send. We're going to have a wonderful buffet dinner. It's really going to be unbelievable. We're going to start this thing so that everybody gets out there by 6:30 at night, and you have your way home before it gets dark. It's a Saturday. It's indoors. Don't worry about the weather. Shoot us down over the target on that. So we're good there. And then the other thing, we have 2 incredible speakers coming. Jessica Hain, H-A-N-E, she's with the Bloomington Sunrise and the Bloomington, Indiana Rotary Club, and she spoke when John Frischi had his district conference by Zoom. She's an incredible, inspirational speaker. So she's going to have a message for us, and then Dean, her name is Dean Roars, and she is trustee of one of the trustees of the Rotary Foundation. She lives in Vancouver, British Columbia. And she's going to join. I nailed her down 3 years ago after I heard her speak. I didn't want her to get away. And she said, Tim, it'd be my honor to come to your, well then, we're using the term district conference. But that's it. That's it. Then we're going to have first, second, and third place prizes, cash prizes for the videos. Again, you're going to be in 3 categories. The district events, the 1 events, then your project, the clubs submit, and then the Interact Kids. So the Interact Kids will just vote in their category, they'll vote in the club category, and then the people who did the district projects, that's their 3rd category. But you can't vote for your own projects. Something about fair to all concerned. We have to stay with that. But yeah, we're going to have cash prizes on the first, second, and third place. Right. And you might see that, everybody knows about the movie The Right Stuff, where there was a TV series that was on maybe about a season or 2, then they pulled it, I don't know why, I thought it was excellent. But the series took up to the point where we had it's the first team of 8 astronauts that were trained for space flight. And they were to the point where they were ready to break through our atmosphere and go into outer space, circle a couple times, and then come back in. So the director of the whole program came in, and they're sitting on tables like this, and he's handing a piece of paper, all 8 of them, and said, okay, you can't vote for yourself, but you will have the opportunity to pick who you think should be on this flight. And you know what he did? When he passed out the papers, he had them, you couldn't see it, but he had them color-coded. So he knew who voted, and if someone voted for themselves by the color that was assigned. So he threw those out. This guy was very obvious, the guy was smart. But anyway, so that Alan Shepard was the one that was, in his peer group, was selected to make that first flight. The same thing is true with voting on these 3 categories. If you're in that peer group, then you'll vote against other projects in your peer group to determine the first, second, and third place who gets those votes. Does that sound like something you love to do?
Yes.
Great. Because you've got a wonderful project. And this is a quote. Did I read this? I didn't read it.
You read it.
I don't read it right. Gordon McAnally, he's from Scotland, and he'll be the 24-25 Rotary International President. He was in Chattanooga last week and spoke, and he said, there's an old Scottish proverb. He said, you can only celebrate your success if you share them. And that's exactly what we're doing here. We're going to share our successes with everyone else in the district. You're going to come away with all kind of ideas and knowing what all these other people are doing in their clubs, and you're going to have a permanent record of the Empowering Girl and anything else you want to submit that you can put on your website, and used for marketing purposes, you know, into the future. So, any questions on anything? That's all I had.
Some hard questions. John, whatever you need.
Square root of 155 or something like that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Tim, for the updates and the wonderful words of inspiration. All right. Fred, fellowship?
Russ, you want to carry the pen? Oh, sure. All right, put a few things together here. We're going to have a Know Your District.
Oh.
Ned, name me 3 projects that or programs the district has.
Programs that just.
Our district?
Our
Yes.
district, 6540.
Well, we've got Polio Plus.
Is that a district project?
Nope.
Nope. That's an international
Yeah.
project.
Oh, okay. I'm drawing a blank. Fred.
That's $1.
That's the first dollar.
All right. As Governor Gibson mentioned, World Polio Day is October 21st.
Just drop something.
4th.
24th.
24th. Okay.
Yeah.
Where will that be held? Brian?
World Polio Day be held.
The live broadcast will be held from.
Assumed it was all over the world.
Can I check my email?
Live broadcast from Paris, I
No, Geneva, Switzerland.
Oh,
No.
didn't know that.
don't know.
Okay.
Huh?
District Governor, how did you get Mike to sit up front? We try and keep him to the back, out of our way.
I'll pay his dollar.
My animal magnetism. I can shake this guy. We had too much fun together.
Elderly Chris, can you name us 3? 6540.
If I could, that would be really bad.
Yeah.
So go ahead and reveal them.
Ryla, ERB, each one bring one. And probably my favorite is pets.
Okay, Pat.
Because I get to meet all the new presidents every year, and that's always a kick.
Okay. And I also have Early Active, which I was unaware of until I did some research, which you want to expound on that a little bit? That's new to me. Maybe share that with
Yeah.
the club. I'm not
You
familiar.
picked the right guy. The first Early Act Club was in Fort Wayne at Washington Elementary School. This was back in 2003. Because our club president back then wanted to pick a signature project for our club, and we had 3 presenters come in. This is an urban elementary school which had abysmal grade scores and all kind of problems, and we went in there, Early Act Club, we did lunch buddies, we did study connection, and we worked with other organizations and poured resources in there like crazy, and then became a Title A1 school, and they got a $10,000 grant from the federal government. But here's the thing that really amazes me. You know, those bird rescue groups that come in with birds on the arm, and they had 3 of those people, those are all volunteers, come to the school and talk about their mission. So then this Early Act Club, and they have a president, vice president, treasurer, and secretary, and it's the 4th, 5th, and 6th grades. They got together and raised money. Now this is a poor urban, and I mean poor urban elementary school. Guess how much money those kids raised? $450, and it made the front page of the Fort Wayne paper. And then the art teacher in the school had they got always those big glass display cases, and she put together a bird, like a hawk or whatever, with all the feathers, and each kid that donated name was on a feather.
No.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
so it was cool.
Neat, something I was aware of. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for that. Interact, Ryla, which he mentioned, scholarship, youth exchange, and world affairs conference. That's what you did not mention. So, birthdays and anniversaries in October. Anybody? Julie?
I'm gonna go backwards because I wasn't here last month. Last month, Brad and I celebrated our 22nd wedding anniversary. So I have not killed him yet and buried the body.
Which she is most capable
So we
of.
know how to do that,
That's the lead story, let me know.
And then on the 20th of this month is my birthday, and I will be turning,
41.
I'll be celebrating my 29th birthday for the 31st time.
yeah. All right, any happy dollars?
I like that.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Russ.
Bryce, you'll be the first to know who needs help. Those are yours.
Uncle.
Put money in our pot?
No.
Okay, draw me a ticket, please.
If it's mine, I'll give you half of it.
And read the last three numbers.
Do I have one?
You got two, there. Now
Okay.
you got one.
Got one.
Last three, please.
Last three. All right, 4, 2, 0.
No.
This is not rigged. I'm gonna find the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah.
This is what we'll do for polio.
Oh,
all right?
okay.
I'll just put that right up front.
All right.
This will be one of the things we do for polio.
Nope.
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh.
We tried.
All right, anyone have anything else?
Why is it October 24th? Did they say anything about that? Why that date was picked? Because that was Jonas Salk's birthday.
Which is who?
Oh,
The
no.
polio vaccine.
The polio vaccine.
I didn't know that. I never made that connection.
And then you had to get the shots in the arm, and then Saban came out with the
It was
drops.
always
The oral one.
Yeah.
It was always just called polio. I've never heard anybody's name associated. I guess I'm old and I don't know something.
That's another dollar.
Thank you for making me smarter today.
All right, stand for the four-way test, please.
The things we think, say, or do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
It isn't fun.